So, if you want the best productivity apps for coaches, here's the short answer. Pick one simple tool, learn it in about 10 minutes, and then actually use it every single day. I'm going to give you my 9 favorites, from task managers to time trackers to one all-in-one coaching app that quietly runs my entire business. I've tried way too many of these over the years, and I wasted months bouncing between shiny new apps before I figured out what actually matters. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which productivity app fits the way you work, and I'll show you the one mistake that quietly makes all 9 of these useless. Okay, so here's the plan. We'll start with the all-in-one coaching tool, then move through the best task manager apps, then automation and reminders, and finish with the time tracking apps. Stick with me to the end, because the most important thing isn't which app you pick. It's the rule that decides whether any of this works at all. Let's start with the one I use every day, which is Paperbell. Most productivity apps only fix one slice of your business. But Paperbell handles the whole client side in one place. It's where I keep all my coaching packages, my scheduling, my contracts, and my payments, so a new client can book, sign, and pay without me touching 6 different tools. It's built specifically for coaches, so it isn't some bloated corporate platform you have to fight with. You can also build your own booking page, sell digital downloads, and offer packages or subscriptions right from the same account. The reason I lead with this one is simple. The biggest productivity drain for most coaches isn't their to-do list. It's the admin around getting paid. So if you fix that first, everything else gets lighter. You can try Paperbell for free, and I'll come back to it at the end. Now let's talk about task managers, because this is where most coaches actually start. I've got 3 for you, and they're pretty different. The first one is Todoist. Todoist is the simple, no-drama option that works on your phone and your computer, and it's basically an upgraded version of a paper to-do list. You jot down your tasks, group them by project or theme, and check them off. What makes it a real coaching tool is that you can share a list with a virtual assistant and track what they're getting done. So it grows with you if you add help later. So, a prep for tomorrow's client's project can hold the session notes, the follow-up emails, and the invoice reminders all in one tidy stack. There's a free version, so it's an easy one to test first. The second task manager is OmniFocus. OmniFocus is built around a method called Getting Things Done, created by David Allen, and the whole idea is to get every task out of your head and captured somewhere the second it pops up. So instead of carrying a mental list that follows you into your client sessions, you dump it into the app and trust that it's there. It sorts your work projects and your personal ones together, which is honestly great for solo coaches whose work and life blur into each other. It's a paid app, but if that capture everything approach clicks with your brain, it's worth it. The third one is ToodleDo, and this is the power user pick. ToodleDo does more than tasks. You can keep lists, take notes, and even build new habits inside it. And you can customize it heavily to make it your own. The trade-off is that it takes a little longer to learn than the others. So I'd only reach for ToodleDo if you know you want one deeper system that does a lot, rather than 3 small apps that each do one thing. There's a free tier to start with before you commit. That covers task managers, so now let's talk about the 2 apps that stop things from slipping through the cracks. One that automates your busy work, and one that makes sure you never forget a deadline. The first is IFTTT, which stands for If This, Then That. IFTTT is an automation tool that wires your other apps together so they talk to each other without you doing the work. You set up little rules like, when this happens, do that automatically. As a coach, you can use it to cross-post your marketing from one platform to another, or to nudge yourself about an email you need to answer. So, the repetitive stuff runs quietly in the background. There's a free version that covers the basics for most solo coaches. The second one here is due, and due does exactly one thing incredibly well: reminders that refuse to be ignored. You give a task a due date, and due keeps surfacing that reminder over and over until you actually mark it done. So it's perfect for the deadline you'll try to snooze and forget, like following up with a lead. It syncs across your phone, your desktop, and even your watch, so the reminder finds you wherever you are. It's a paid app, but for the stuff you genuinely cannot afford to drop, that persistence is the whole point. So now you've got your tasks captured and your reminders handled, which brings us to the last group: 3 time tracking apps that show you where your hours actually go. The first is Toggl. Toggl is a time tracker, and you might remember it from a corporate job as a reporting tool, but it's secretly a fantastic productivity app for coaches. You start a timer when you begin a task, and at the end of the week, you can see exactly how much time each project ate up. 2 things happen when you do this. You spot where your hours are quietly leaking, and just having the timer running keeps you focused instead of drifting off to check your phone. The first time I tracked a full week, I realized I was spending more time writing proposals than actually coaching, which told me exactly what to fix. The second time tool is one you already have open right now, which is Google Calendar. We all use Google Calendar to schedule meetings into the future, but the trick most coaches miss is using it to look backward. After a workday, you can drop in blocks showing how you actually spent your time, then review the week and see where it really went. So it works like a free, zero setup version of time tracking using a tool that's already sitting in your browser. And the last app on the list is OmniFocus, and this one is my little focus hack. OmniFocus is built on the Pomodoro technique, where you work in a focused 25-minute sprint, then take a short break, then go again. You load your tasks for the day, hit the timer, and that ticking clock pushes you to make the minutes count instead of half working for 3 hours straight. It's completely free, and it's the one I open on the days my brain just does not want to cooperate. So that's all 9. But here's the part I promised you at the start, and it's the single most important thing in this whole video. The biggest mistake coaches make with productivity apps isn't picking the wrong one, it's picking too many. Running your day across 6 different apps is just as unproductive as using none at all, because now you're managing the tools instead of doing the work. The real win comes from choosing one simple system you can learn in about 10 minutes, and then sticking with it long enough for it to become a habit. So test a couple for a day if you want, but then commit. Being an app hopper who reinvents your whole setup every few months is the thing that quietly kills your productivity, no matter how good the individual app is. So how do you actually choose? Think about how you work. If you're solo, you want something you can navigate fast without a lot of setup, like Todoist or Google Calendar. If you follow a method already, match the app to it. So getting things done points you to OmniFocus, and focus sprints point you to OmniFocus. And if the thing eating your time is really the admin around your clients rather than your task list, then an all-in-one coaching tool is going to save you far more hours than any to-do app ever will. That last one is where I'd start, and it's why I use Paperbell to run my coaching business. It's where I build my packages, set my prices, and let clients book and pay all in one place, instead of stitching together a task app, a calendar, a contract tool, and a payment link. You can try it for free, and the link is in the description. So go pick your one app this week, set it up, and then leave it alone long enough to actually work. That's the whole secret.